Good morning. The Louisiana Committee on Parole is impaneled at headquarters in Baton Rouge. Today is January 7th, 2025, and the time is now 9:38, and we are in a hearing with Union Parish Detention Center. Would the offender please state their name and their DOC number?
My name's Stephen Medlin, and I do not know my DOC number. I haven't memorized it.
Okay, can you give me your date of birth? Yes, date of birth.
11/27/1990.
Okay, Mr. Medlin, your DOC number is 788248. We're going to be dealing with some parole revocation issues. Let me introduce you to the panel. To my left is Ms. Stapleton. On remote is Mr. Prager. I'm Ms. Ledoux. We also do have your mother and your girlfriend. Mariah Reeves is your mother, Cheryl Morris' girlfriend. First of all, I'm going to ask you, do you have a piece of paper in front of you that shows your signature?
I have a piece of paper that I can sign, but I don't have one that I've signed already.
Okay, is it a parole revocation questionnaire? You see that now on our screen?
I do see that.
Okay, and that is your signature?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So Mr. Medlin, your answers to that indicates that you are not eligible for appointed counsel. Do you have a retained attorney?
I do.
And is he with us today?
He's not with me. I don't see him on this screen anywhere.
So he's not in attendance. We're going to continue unless you have an objection to that.
I do not.
Okay. So, sir, I'm going to be reading some information from your file. You were charged with violating condition number 4 of your parole in that you were arrested on 9/24/2024 for second-degree battery and battery of a dating partner by the Union Parish Sheriff's Office. You can plead guilty, not guilty, or guilty with a statement.
Not guilty.
I will note that on 11/6/2024, the charges were declined by the district attorney's office. At this time, we'll allow your mother to make a statement before we start asking you questions.
Good morning. I'm Maura Reeves. I'm Stephen's mother. I'm all stuffed up this morning, so I'm gonna get through it. But I mean, I just wish y'all would consider. Stephen's got a daughter. He's got 3 nephews. We have a big family. We have a strong support system. When he gets out, if y'all let him out, he does have his own house. He currently has a job in the oil field that keeps him stable and able to pay his own bills and pay his monthly fines. He is remorseful. We have talked, we talk. He has some regret. While he's been incarcerated, we have had some tough things, some death, and he's missed being able to say his goodbyes. And sorry. And he is a member of our current church. We have a good pastor who's young, who's been to see him and is mentoring him. And I really wish you would consider letting him out. His daughter needs him. Our whole family needs him. And I just ask for you to consider that.
Thank you very much. We also have Ms. Morris, if you would like to make a statement at this time.
I would. And I believe, did you guys get, I had a notarized statement that was sent in for his pre-hearing.
Yes, we have that.
Okay. So, I mean, everything I said in that statement, hopefully if you guys had a chance to review that, because I didn't want to go over it, but I did want to say a few things to maybe clarify and give some perspective as to why I acted out the way I did that night. So just a little back history. I'm a registered nurse. I'm working at a local hospital. I've been a nurse for 13 years. I graduated University of Maryland, Baltimore, with my bachelor's degree in nursing. I moved to Louisiana about 5 years ago, right before the COVID pandemic hit, as a travel nurse. When I was going through a separation and divorce from my husband of 20 years. That relation ultimately ended because of trust issues and infidelity. Looks like my power just went out. Um, but there I found on my ex-husband's phone some things and his social media apps, and unfortunately that has caused some lasting effects for me. Also, since that time, I've been diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, and one of the symptoms of that is emotional dysregulation. I have a very hard time regulating my emotions. I feel everything to the extreme. When I'm happy, but when I'm upset, it feels like my world is ending. I've been in therapy, and overall I've been doing really well, but sometimes I still have some borderline episodes if I'm triggered. And unfortunately, on the night of September 23rd, Stephen's phone was that trigger. I have a tendency to catastrophize, and when that notification went off on his phone and I saw a message from another female, I automatically jumped to the conclusion that he was cheating on me, and I reacted straight out of emotion and without thinking. I accused him of being a liar and I hit him. Um, and the fact that I had alcohol on board made it worse. I tend to get very emotional when I drink, and on top of it, I'm already a very emotional person. Because of this, I am a person who should not consume alcohol. It has caused some issues in my life. Um, and I still have not had any alcohol since that night. I have made a firm goal not to pick up alcohol anymore. Stephen reacted in self-defense that night. He did not intend for me to get injured. And I believe he should not be punished for it. The court agreed with this and declined the charges before he could even be arraigned. Um, as a side note, I would like to add that Stephen's grandfather passed away 2 days after he was incarcerated. He was unable to attend the funeral and be the pallbearer like was planned because of my actions that night. And now he's about to lose his uncle that he's very close with due to a recent and very unexpected diagnosis of stage 4 cancer. He was just put on hospice, and I'm begging you to allow him to come home and be able to say his final goodbyes. And that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Prater, I'll turn this questioning over to you.
Yes, ma'am. Stephen, did you have 12 beers that night?
No, I didn't have 12, but I did have 6. That's all I bought that night. Me and that cop had got a little lippy with each other, and I just told him. He kept asking me questions, and I just said, "Look, man, I don't even know what's going on. If you want to write down that I had 12 beers, go ahead."
All right. Did you slam her head on the floor?
No, sir.
You just pushed her backwards and she fell and hit the cabinet.
Yes, sir. I was sitting in like a bar stool that kind of wraps around your hips. So when she attacked me, I had nowhere to go. I had to push her off of me, and then she fell and unfortunately hit her head on the handle of the cabinet.
Why didn't you leave?
Why didn't I leave?
Yeah,
It was my house. I went and got in bed.
I mean, why didn't you leave the house or something? If you knew she was irrational and drunk and gonna be a
Well,
problem.
when this first happened, we were outside and she hit me, and I went inside and I started fixing me a burger. And then she came inside. I was thinking I'm gonna separate from her, let her cool off. And then as soon as she come back in the house, she just come at me again. So I was just thinking if I walk inside, give her some time to cool off, she'd cool off. And that's not the case here. And everything kind of just happened real quick, all within. Everything was completely calm. And then with a matter of, I would say, 2 to 5 minutes, this event took place.
That's all I got.
Ms. Stapleton?
Well, when I read the police report, which involves Deputy Didier and a detective, they both say that they saw evidence of the crime as described by the victim. So the physical evidence was also they took pictures of it also. Did you strangle her? Did you put your hands around her neck and strangle her? That was in
No,
the.
ma'am.
No, you just pushed her and she fell? Because it said
Yep.
there was blood on the floor from a bloody nose and all of that. I mean, it sounds
No,
like a pretty
there was-
violent episode.
She didn't have any damage to her frontal face at all. There was 0 damage to her face. The only thing she
It says that she was with an open palm that she was hitting the nose and the upper lip.
No, that's where I was hit. That's
Where you were at?
that's not the police report I read that says that anyway.
Did you lost your temper and it got the best of you?
No, I just pushed her off of me to get some separation. She was hitting me. I just wanted to get some separation. I was kind of pinned in that chair.
Okay, that's all.
Mr. Medlin, you were on probation also at this time, or is just a probation as well?
I'm on probation and parole for the same charge.
Same charge?
Yeah, I took a split sentence.
Okay. I understand that you were asked to do a substance abuse evaluation. Did you ever complete that?
I did.
Okay. What were the findings of the evaluation?
They didn't recommend any treatment.
Okay. Were you employed at the time that this happened?
Yes, ma'am.
Where were you employed? It looks like you had benefits. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. I work for a company called Helmerich and Payne Drilling. They're based out of Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I was working in Midland, Texas. And I've been with that particular company, other than being incarcerated, since March of 2017.
So, I hate these cases where it's she said, he said, and all the recanting. And I mean, we have a police report and we have evidence of violence. Okay, that's what the evidence we have before us today. That's what we have to make our decision on, is the evidence that we have. Is the panel prepared to vote, Mr. Prater?
Ma'am.
Okay.
My vote is to revoke violation number 4. For one thing, being drunk. I mean, that's one thing, violation of your parole. And the other thing, I think something happened. It's just it was too logical of a story to come up with when you're drunk. If you're too drunk to know what's going on, you usually resort to the truth. And upon question, when the police get there, she went to the neighbors and she was too scared to ask you for the phone. All that doesn't make sense. My vote's to revoke violation of 4.
Stapleton.
I concur with Mr. Prater.
Mr. Medlin, my vote is also to revoke. And I do hope that you get some help with anger management and domestic abuse, violence issues, as well as substance abuse. So today, unanimous decision, your parole revoked. The time is now 9:53, and that concludes our business.